Today I'm making 3 different board games about my favorite subject, poop. It's a time challenge, so I have 1 minute to do the first one, 10 minutes for the second one, and 1 hour for the last one. Poop, feces, doodoo, whatever you call it. This organic secretion is a miracle of nature and resource management. Nutrients and liquid are stripped from food, usually, and compacted into dense clumps that can be used for manure, biogas, and bricks. It can even be used to extract precious metal like gold. Today, I'm designing 3 different games on the topic. The first, with 1 minute on the clock. Oh, that was it. What? That was like no time. Okay, quick explanation of my game. There's a 5x5 grid underneath the cards, basically cards face down, and each of the cards is basically a toilet. You're trying to flip over the toilet and hope for a clean one. If you get a poop, then that's like a loss. You can lose 3 times and then you're out of the game. You're basically trying to go to the bathroom and find a clean toilet. The twist to it is that on each person's first turn, they flip over one of them, and then afterwards they can switch. As the rounds go on, there's more switching and it makes it harder to remember where the cards were from before. So I drew a few graphics on my iPad, got them printed at the drugstore, cut them out, and taped them together so they're double-sided, thus completing the prototype. And without further ado, a quick how to play for the 1 minute game. You start by laying out 25 shuffled cards face down in a 5x5 grid. A third of them are poop and the rest are clean toilets. Your goal is to get 3 clean toilets to win or for your opponents to get eliminated, which happens when a player gets 3 poops. On your turn, you can do one of 3 things. 1. Take a face down card. 2. Peek at 2 face down cards. Or 3. Peek at 1 card and switch to a round. If you already took a poop card from before, taking a clean toilet will remove the poop card, and both are discarded. Same with taking a poop card when you already have a clean toilet. After taking a card, replenish the space with a new face down card from the deck. If you run out of cards, just keep playing with the empty space. The game is good for 2 to 4 players, but I only place tested 2 and 3 player scenarios. Here's the feedback I got. Pros: the funny theme with crude humor, suitability for all ages and languages since it was just images, and it's quick and easy, doesn't require 100% focus all the time. It also exercises your memorization skills. Cons were that it ended a bit too quickly, even with 3 players, and you can't seem to play for more than 15 or 30 minutes. After playing, they rated the game a 4 and 8.5 out of 10, for an average score of 6.25. Not too bad. Now, on to the 10-minute challenge. Okay, time's up. So I made 2 games. The first game is kind of like a game I played before called Drexel. That one has to do with pigs that get dirty and then you have to clean them. And there are different things like barns and lightning rods that can be used to protect the pigs from lightning and getting dirty. But my game is like a simplified version of that where you have 3 dirty toilets and you have to get them clean. First person to get them clean wins, and you can clean them by either flushing the toilet or using some sort of cleaner. My other game is about making healthy poops. There's different food cards that you can eat. There's healthy and unhealthy foods. So unhealthy foods are sort of like burgers, fries, tacos, pizzas, and barbecue. And that would produce diarrhea. But if you get fiber added to your fast food, then that can produce healthy poop. You can also just eat healthy food, and that would produce healthy poop. The better the poop, the more the quantity, the more points you have. There's also these cards called bathroom times. Whenever someone plays that, everybody has to go to the bathroom with whatever they have played, and then they resolve their points. I ironed out the rules and wrote out each card description, adding some Google images before printing the prototype on cardstock. After cutting them out, I was ready to playtest. But before the playtest, a quick how to play. The 10-minute game is a simple draw and play. You start out with 4 cards, and on every turn you draw 1 and play up to 2. There are 2 types of cards, action cards and food supplement cards. For junk food, you have to eat it with fiber supplements or fibrous foods to increase the points you get from them, or else you might even get negative points. And you only score points if you go to the bathroom with whatever is in your stomach. These require a private stall card that lets you digest and poop everything out in your stomach, or a bathroom time card that does the same except for all players at the same time. My cousin pointed out that this card could be better named Group Poop. Genius. All the cards you poop out go in a separate dump pile for each dump, and points are calculated by adding them together. Game ends once the deck runs out, and whoever has the most points wins. Alright, playtest results. Again, a pro was the fun theme. Taking dumps and getting points for them is hilarious. It was quick, clever, easy to understand, and has more potential than the first game. However, the concept and mechanism of fiber and fiber supplements might be too scientific. Ratings came in at 5 and 8.5 out of 10 for an average score of 6.75. Hey, an improvement. Now, on to the grand finale. the 1 hour challenge. So my screen record didn't save while I was making this, but here is basically the game that I made. This game is called Society of Poop. Basically, you're building your business. So in this game, poop is used as fuel, fertilizer, and construction. During that 1 hour, I was like doing a lot of Googling to see what poop can be used for. So this is largely based on my research. Alpaca manure is the best. Then comes poultry, cattle, and then pigs. So pigs, since it's the lowest, I allowed it to produce 1 manure. It can also produce biogas. So if you own a landfill facility, then you can have 2 pigs produce 1 biogas. And then it kind of upgrades from there. Cows are the most versatile, where they can produce bricks and biogas as well. Humans can also produce manure, but at a very inefficient rate. They can also do the superfoods, which is these black soldier fly larvae, basically can be fed feces to become protein for food. Now, these are the type of buildings that exist in the game. Then I tried to make it more interactive by creating secret hideout. Place humans there, and then you can roll die to determine what you can steal from other players. So if you don't eat food but a turn, then you become hungry. And if you're hungry during a turn and you still don't eat, then you die. You start with a farm, a barn, and a home, 2 humans and 3 pigs. Then you build your way up from there. On your turn, you produce, then you trade with other players, buy things, and then you can place animals and resources on their spots for the beginning of next turn. Let me spend some time to refine this a bit more, and then I'll show you the final result. After doing some balancing, I designed the game tiles in Photoshop using trusty old Google Images. I had a bunch of game pieces from Imperial settlers, so I used those for my manure, pigs, cows, humans, and gold. And I had some other pieces I used for chickens, alpacas, and resource markers. After printing the tiles on photo paper and cutting them out, the prototype was ready. And I present to you the 1 hour challenge game I call Poop Farm. Poop Farm is the ultimate Euro-style resource management game where the main resource is poop. Poop can be used as manure to farm food, and the amount of manure each animal makes is based on actual research I did on varying manure quality across animals. In the game, poop is also used to produce biogas in landfill facilities, bricks in the factories, food at the lab, and gold at the metal treatment facilities. These are all based on actual credible Wikipedia research, okay? Now, a quick how to play. Depending on order, players start out with 5 to 7 pieces of manure, which is a sort of currency, as well as 2 pigs, 2 humans, 1 barn, a house, and a farm. You can place your pigs and humans anywhere, but you'll likely place the humans in the house, using both humans to make 1 manure per turn. The pigs produce 1 manure each in the barn. Alternatively, you could place the pigs in the house, but they wouldn't do anything there. 2 humans can also use a turn to reproduce, if 2 are in the house, instead of making manure. However, every animal and human needs 1 food per turn or else they go hungry. And if they are hungry in the next turn, they only produce half of what they usually produce, rounded down. Except 1 hungry human and 1 fed human can still make 1 manure. Yes, I know, that's a bit confusing, but once you play, it's really quick to internalize the rules. Now for food, the farm can be used twice per turn to convert 2 manure to 3 food. You can buy more pigs or other animals like chickens, cows, and alpacas. Cows are especially necessary to produce bricks, which are then used to buy more buildings, one of which is the landfill, where you can place more cows to produce biogas, which you can then use to power your metal treatment facilities and buy other things. The game ends when 3 land categories are purchased and depleted. And you get 1 point for every land tile you have, an additional point for each land tile that is fully populated, and 2 points for every piece of gold. To spice things up, my cousin and I came up with the idea of having barns filled with all of 1 animal type for bonus abilities to create different strategies and approaches in the game. So, for example, with these additional rules, you can fill a barn with all pigs to get +2 manure as a bonus, and the chance to roll the dice every turn to collect 1 gold if a 6 is rolled. You can also fill a barn with all chickens to get a +2 food bonus. A barn with all alpacas automatically gets 1 gold per turn. Now, there's also a special land tile called Secret Hideout, which requires 2 humans to operate per turn. You can use this to roll the die for a chance to destroy a resource, animal, or land tile of an opponent. Honestly, this was one of the funnest games I've ever made, so I was really excited to playtest it. I was able to get 4 playtesters for this game, trying 2-player and 3-player setups. Here's the feedback I got. Pros, everyone said it was fun after understanding how to play and strategize, and the concept of a poop economy was pretty easy to follow. But there's a bit of an initial learning curve, so having a clear player guide with the price and production abilities of animals, humans, and land tiles is important. Super game creator Jamie Stagmeyer said in one of his videos to pay attention to if you have to constantly remind people of rules. In my playtests, I definitely found myself reminding people about the objective, what land tiles did, point bonuses, and other rules, which is a sign that there's some information inefficiency. In my first playtest, it was a bit slow because we took turns one at a time. That was later fixed after we took our turns at the same time. We also added bonuses for barns, fully occupied by pigs or fully packed with chickens, to create different strategy routes and not have quote-unquote useless animals. I also had a superfood mechanism that was unnecessary that I removed. Small rebalancing, like letting humans also reproduce when they make food on the lab tile, helped reduce underutilized game pieces. And lastly, in my revised playtest, the final feedback was that it felt like the game ended abruptly once 3 land tiles were depleted. Perhaps the end game trigger can be reconsidered, especially if people are playing longer strategies. The first 2 ratings from the same playtesters earlier came in at 7 and 9, which averages to 8. Nice. The next 2 ratings came in at 6.5 and 7, for a grand average of 7.375. Hey, can't complain. Overall, I realized that Poop Farm, the 1-hour game, needs to be a bit more interactive. Everyone ends up just taking their turns over and over again until the game ends. Perhaps there can be an interactive mechanism in between turns to spice things up. Another exciting idea to increase replayability is to have a few tiles that are part of the base game, and then have players randomly pick 3 tiles out of say 10 or more to be added to the base tiles. Similar to the deck builder game Dominion, this can change each player's approach and strategy depending on which tiles are picked randomly, making every game a new fun challenge. If you want to print and play any of the games in this video, check out the link below for free printouts and instructions. I made this channel because I love making board games. Yes, I love playing them too, but what really interests me is analyzing what makes a game fun, coming up with new ideas, and then testing them. If you like watching me do that, please subscribe and ring the bell so that you'll know when I post future videos. And if you enjoyed this one, please hit the like. IG is @I'llBeShang if you want to follow me there. Have a good day, and I'll be shang you in the next one.